Women and cheating. Name a better duo. I'm sort of joking, but women are not as monogamous as men think they are. And in my factual opinion, they definitely cheat more than men do. I think there's a general sentiment that when it comes to dating and the like, women have a higher moralistic standard or code of ethics than men, but that's just not true. In fact, many of them understand just how naive a man can be, and they'll utilize it against them. So let me break it down. And here's why women cheat more than men and how they're better at it. First, the basic principle I'll present is that women are better at cheating because it's just easier all across the board. It's easier for them to get another man. It's easier for them to date and not be affected financially or put as much into it. It's easier for them to not be accused of cheating. It's easier for them to use time to their advantage, and it's easier for them to keep the side piece as the side piece. They're allowed to be sneakier than men because it's a social norm to not ask about or question certain things about a woman. Call it blind faith or trust, but part of the feminine mystique is to believe in a certain level of infallibility. In other words, the idea that a woman is capable of no wrongdoing, and if she does something wrong, then it was not by her own decision. This is why when a woman says she would never cheat, it doesn't actually mean anything. Every woman who had previously never done it before said that too. Of course you think you never cheat. If you're single, it's hard to foresee yourself falling for one dude, being with him for a while, then falling for another dude while with the current man. That's like one step too many. But as a relationship progresses and things might slow down, things change, maybe she's not getting what she wants out of it. Time passes, whether months or years, and suddenly at random, she meets a guy, maybe new, maybe old somewhere. Curiosity starts to set in, infatuation takes over, and she'll question herself like, oh, why do I feel this way? But it will continue. A text here, a call there, a harmless lunch date sometime, an innocent meetup, and eventually, next thing she knows, she's sneaking off and cheating on a regular basis. This is how often it goes, at least for the ones who do it the nice way. And if you noticed, I describe how a lot of female-oriented romance movies or novels are set up. For a lot of women, cheating comes down to romanticization. They're with a guy, and things aren't going how they think it should, and then boom, another guy shows up. And the thought that goes through her head is, her current man is keeping her away from her real soulmate, or her optimal sexual match, or an experience that she's missing out on. Sometimes it's just that simple. Like legit, look at all these romance movies and stories that women love to watch, and just how many of them consist of a woman cheating to pursue her goal of true love. The Notebook, the Titanic. It's the same concept. Hell, you could say the same about a lot of Disney movies that they grew up on. It's all the same formula. But when movies depict a man cheating, it's because he's a piece of trash. And this is how it goes in real life. You could be this great guy right now, but at any point, any day, all it takes is for them to think that you're the bad guy, and then they'll convince everyone, themselves, the side dude, everybody around them, that you're the villain. And this sets up the angle of her being the hero and the victim that escaped that toxic relationship with you. In her view, she's just a character acting through the motions. Now, why do women cheat? Simple answer, because they want to. I gave you the scenario before as an example, but the entire point was, you don't have to be the worst man in the world for a woman to cheat. All she needs is a narrative and an angle. That's it. It's all about protecting her story. But again, a lot of men tend to think as long as you treat a woman good or great, whatever that means, she's never going to desire another man or want to be in contact with any other man for the rest of her life. Yeah. Something funny about a lot of women is they just can't keep it real when they cheat. They always got to throw in some weird little word salad to make it seem better. Oh, I mentally broke up with my ex. He just didn't know yet. I cheated because I was depressed. Girl, stop lying. Or is it, wait, let me guess. I was immature. My prefrontal cortex didn't form yet. I had to find myself. I felt neglected. You didn't take me out enough times. I never got to experience other people. Oh, and I think I'm poly now. He probably did it first. He made me do it. Truth is, a woman will always have justification for cheating on a man. They just sprinkle them all throughout a relationship, and they keep them in their back pocket for when it's time to use them. You play video games too much, or you stopped opening doors for me 6 months ago. It goes a very long way for them. as long as it's vague and unquantifiable enough to where it can't be argued against. Bottom line is, don't let a woman manipulate you into everything being your fault, as if she holds a passive role in everything. A lot of times a woman will literally be itching for something negative to pop off in a relationship, or they'll even orchestrate it themselves so they have a reason to cheat. Now I want to dive more into the logistics of how they do it, but first I want to talk about staging. Women know how to stage, not just the men they date, but the men they could cheat with as well, and also the men they can leave you for. They'll still give out their number to new guys. Maybe they'll say it's as friends or whatever. They might give out their social media. They'll leave hearts, likes, and comments and, nice DMs. They'll text other guys when you're not around, but they will not consider any of this to be real cheating. But if a dude is chilling in the comfort of his home, scrolling, and the phone happens to stop on a booty shaking video, that's somehow cheating and they want to go on your phone. Now, I don't know where this idea came from that when women go outside, they aren't looking at other men. Like, in the real, their options come to them at the initial point of contact, not the other way around. This is just another piece of why it's easier for them to cheat. Now, some dudes, I've heard them even say that getting a taken woman is easier than getting a single woman. Now, the reason for that is, I guess, if she's single, you're being compared to something abstract. But if she's taken, you're being compared to the negative version of what she has currently. And this is how so many men get blindsided. You think everything's going fine. Then she hits you with, maybe we should take a break. Maybe we need to separate for a while. They don't do that kind of stuff out the blue. Oftentimes they're doing it to give the other guy a free trial. And then they'll come back like nothing happened. I've said it before, but a lot of these chicks are actors. And a part of the role is making sure to present the idea that you as the man could cheat, but she would never do it. What do I mean by that? For example, you're at a restaurant and she makes a big deal about you looking at a waitress. Oh my God, I'm so upset. Why are you looking at all these other girls? It's very subtle, but very effective. And when it comes to wrongdoing, women play a very good offense. It's easy, just preemptively accuse you of stuff so you feel compelled to be hyper transparent afterwards. You'll be so focused on not doing certain things, meanwhile she's doing her business in peace. Another part of staging is sometimes a woman will tell you that another guy tried to hit on her or flirt with her. Whether it's a coworker, a dude at the beach, a classmate, wherever, whoever. This makes you believe that she's telling you about everything and that there aren't guys that she's actually reciprocating interest with. For example, the same coworker she told you about 6 months ago will be the same guy she cheats with. Again, just because a woman tells you about other guys flirting with her doesn't mean that she's not flirting too. They know how to protect their bottom line. Now, as we get more into the logistical side of it, one of the biggest reasons women are able to cheat better than men is simple. Women have far more ways to account for undocumented, unchecked, or random time. Yoga class, spa dates, girls' nights, nails, makeup, hair and wax appointments, Pilates, dance class, shopping, chilling with the girls for a sleepover, whatever it may be. A woman can literally go missing for 2 to 8 hours at a time, and it's completely normal. It doesn't even raise an alarm to you, right? The hair, nail, and makeup thing is damn near the oldest trick in the book. So many guys get got by that one. And the thing is, all she has to do is call, text, or FaceTime you a few times throughout the day and maybe complain about something or talk about something to get you off the trail. Some guys might not even get that lucky though, where she's calling them. She'll just say her phone died or something. But yeah, once you have been conditioned in a relationship long enough, and maybe she starts getting really bold, it can be as easy as her saying, hey, I'm going somewhere later. You know it takes me 3 hours to get dressed. I'll call you when I'm done. Man, you know what somebody can do in 3 hours? I used to work at jobs where folks used to go on their 15 and 30-minute lunch breaks together, then handle business and come back. When a woman decides to utilize her time wisely, a man will never know the real because it's normal for them to do the things that I talked about. The reason men get caught cheating easier is simple. Men are a lot more routine-based than women are, generally speaking. What I mean is, how many times can you go to the barbershop for the week? If you go to the gym, you probably aren't going at odd hours. And women are very clever in a certain regard, because if a man tries to start up a new hobby or an activity, a woman will oftentimes try to latch onto it at some point. Hey, why don't you ever bring me? Can I come watch? Can I come along? Can I come see the place? Men don't really do this, right? We let the girl have her stuff and we stay in our space. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of us are not trying to tag along like that, but they're different. And I'm telling you, a dude can only come up with so many excuses and do so many activities without her specifically before it becomes, is there a reason you don't want to bring me? And it creates a rift in the relationship anyways. The natural trump card women often hold is, men are generally trained to not question a woman in a certain manner. I think I've talked about this before. But like, even if a woman knows she's cheating and you know she's cheating, you know you can't just question her like that or make that type of accusation. It's like a social conditioning thing. A woman can sit around accusing a man of cheating all day long, and we consider that normal. It's just like a fly you gotta swat away. But if a man is to present the accusation of cheating, he has to present clear, cut evidence. Otherwise, there's like an unspoken repercussion to deal with. Almost like it makes you feel weak to do as a man. The reason I say you gotta have proof together is because the hysterics. There's two types of female cheaters you gotta know about. There's one, the unapologetic type, and then there's two, the hysterical type. The apologetic type will deny, act offended, dismayed, disrespected before going on the offense. Yeah, I did it, and it's your fault too. You deserved it. And then you have the hysterical type. They're kind of similar, and they do a lot of the same things, except the hysterical type will start crying, lying, gaslighting, manipulating. Yes, she's going to cry. But one thing to understand is, women don't cry. They utilize their tears strategically. And that's why it's so important to know there's a big difference between a baby cheater and an experienced one. A woman who's a baby cheater will do things like shift her mood often, change her energy around you, or make it obvious something is up. I guess you could say they haven't regulated themselves yet. But an experienced cheater, they're on point with everything. If she doesn't make it obvious, you would never know. And if you do know something, it's only because she wanted you to know. There's certain chicks out there who have cheated on multiple men. Hell, they cheated on every man they've been with and none of them have found out. They are cold with it. Everybody thinks they're gonna catch on real easy when they're getting cheated on. Like, yeah, if you're lucky, or if she's a rookie, but it's a whole lot of vets out here though. Just imagine, as a comparison in school, the goody two-shoes who takes a chance and tries to cheat on their test for the first time. There's usually gonna be a lot of like rubbernecking, or they're gonna stick their neck out real far to make it obvious. But the one who cheats on every single test, they never get caught. Once you understand how an experienced woman cheats, your perspective changes drastically. There's a certain vet moves they use. They'll manipulate their phone location. They'll park their car with their phone in it. They'll have like one or two homegirls in on it. They'll use PTO on work days to go ghost for 8 hours. I know some of y'all didn't know about that one. Or the good old, I'm gonna just start an argument with him so he doesn't want to talk to me for a few hours so I can get away, right? Very egregious stuff. Now, I'm not advocating for anybody to do this, but you know what's interesting? A lot of men are one check phone away from a failed relationship. One check phone away from seeing their girl in a completely different light. Now, I don't want to be presumptuous about it, but them phones ain't no joke. Like, bro, her last text is not the one texting and calling her at 2 a.m. I've seen some change their side dude's number to an automated number. I've seen them change their text notifications into a completely different app by spoofing it. A good rule of thumb is, if a woman ever tries to go through your phone in exchange for hers, just know she's probably already cleared hers out. Don't even bother. All you're gonna see is her hairdresser and her mom. And she'll clear out everything, even that main group chat too. Only thing she might not clear out are those Finsta accounts they usually have. So let's peel back another layer. Something many guys don't know is, there is a plethora of men out here who've been cheated on before, know they've been cheated on, and they stayed anyways. And you never know it. Truth is, there's women who will use cheating as a tool to whip a man into shape. For example, a woman can be in a relationship and maybe she wants certain things from a man, or maybe she feels it's gotten stagnant or boring, whether reasonable or not, and she will cheat to try to restructure the relationship in her favor. And either two things will occur. He gives her what she wants or she leaves anyways. So she gets what she wants either way. And oftentimes this works on men who don't really have options like that to be able to just get away from that, right? Or maybe guys who are just stuck in that situation. He knows if he loses that ass, he ain't getting no more for a while. It's almost like She's flexing her leverage and trying to gain control. If you've never seen this play out, you might not understand it. Let me walk you through this logic. It usually goes like, woman cheats, she gets caught, or maybe she admits it, who knows. Guy gets shocked, upset, wants answers. She starts lying and trickle-truthing, and then she starts crying and the manipulation comes. She starts playing on your heartstrings and blaming you. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. If you did this, I wouldn't have did this. Then she'll claim like lack of attention or some other shit. The guy starts to panic, he scrambles. So he'll try to fix things and save the relationship. And he'll do all the things that she claimed if he did it, she wouldn't have cheated. But the thing is, she was going to do it anyways. And so by getting him to do the things that she demanded beforehand, she's effectively whipped him into shape. Again, by the way, this is a real thing. I think it's something called hysterical bonding, right? Psychological term. The thing is, if you just know how the game goes, you would just throw that situation in the trash and walk away. Or you'd expect the chick to go wrong at some point anyway, so you don't really care one way or the other. But a lot of men do not have it in them to walk away. And no one talks about how women will step on men like this, especially if she sees him as a gump. And I get it, it's very easy for you, I, or anybody else to sit in a very calm, even-tempered setting and draw very clear lines between right and wrong. But when those lines get blurred by emotion, you'll see how easy it is for folks to not follow through on what they say. The last part I want to talk about is efficiency. Simply put, if a guy wants to cheat, he has to cast a wider net and leave himself more vulnerable to slipping up. You can only enter so many DMs because eventually some woman's going to screenshot and want some attention from that. A woman, on the other hand, she can DM dudes all day long. Most dudes ain't going to say nothing. So I suppose you could say men try to cheat more, but women are more efficient at it. Men often get caught before they try to cheat or while they're trying to cheat. With women, you got to catch them after they cheat or damn near while they're creeping. And usually by the time you know about it, she already got away with it 10 times over already. You just know about that one time. For them, getting a side dude is like soft dating. They just compartmentalize for whatever they need. Attention, money, sexual satisfaction, whatever's necessary, they can just get a guy for that. Sometimes it's just a guy at work that's just hugging up on her during her shifts. Basically, the side dude doesn't have to be more than what he is. Whereas with men, unless he just got it like that, a lot of dudes will have to make their side chick feel special to reel her in. The biggest piece in the side chick, side dude dynamic, when a woman gets a side dude, it's like having a part-time worker. When a man gets a side chick, it's like having two girlfriends. Except the new chick is in the honeymoon stage and the current one is just there already. The dynamic gets jacked up because the new one eventually wants more, and that's where it goes downhill. Dudes will take their side chick out to the restaurant, to the mall, to Walmart, everywhere, and then they'll be surprised when it blows up. Side dudes have a different dynamic though, because they're not even trying to take the main spot. Obviously, you got the pillow talking, I can treat you better types. But yeah, even then, there's more of a concerted effort to keep things under wraps, assuming he knows about her main guy. Again, side chicks are not like this. There's many who will try to sabotage everything because they weren't promoted to full-time status, even when it doesn't make sense to do that. They love coming to somebody as a woman. In fact, one of the craziest stories I ever seen was a girl was cheating on her boyfriend with her side dude, who also had a girlfriend himself, and she snitched on the side dude to his girlfriend as if she wasn't cheating too. I'm telling you, these women are diabolical out here. They'll literally poke a hole in the boat, even if it means they'll sink too. At the end of the day, you gotta understand that cheating isn't exactly something that people talk about openly, and if you're not plugged in at all, you think it never happens. Well, unless a man did it. When a man cheats, a woman will run and tell everybody. When a woman cheats, they might fuss and fight, and then quietly go to counseling. This goes back to my point earlier. This is often a concerted effort to cover up when a woman does something bad. When a woman cheats, she's not going to talk about it. The guy she cheats with ain't going to talk about it. And the guy she cheats on isn't going to talk about it either. And by the way, if you ever get cheated on, do not take your ass into that couples counseling or couples therapy office. I'm telling you right now, a lot of them are feminine coded and you're probably going to get ambushed. But yeah. Last word. When it comes to women, I learned a very long time ago to remove "that would never happen to me" from my vocabulary. Some have to see it to believe, and others have to feel to understand. But look, everybody has a different experience and viewpoint. These are just the things that I picked up on. Now, for some folks watching this, everything I'm saying sounds foreign to you, but for others, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you made it this far. Simply put, I'll never be the type of guy to try to control a woman or dig deeper than what's necessary. Not worth the time, quite frankly. So yeah, this was kind of a long one. I got this idea from my Twitter account, just seeing funny shenanigans on the timeline. So I figured I'd make a video about it. So yeah, anyways, if you appreciate this one, be sure to drop a like below and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Subscribe to my newsletter where I share notes like this straight to your inbox. And if you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe for more. Peace.